edition of Tea with T.E.C. Tea with T.E.C. Tea with T.E.C. Welcome, everyone. My name is Candace Battle, owner of the event company. I am a master certified wedding planner and ambassador with the Bridal Society, the leading wedding planning certification program in the world, and the largest membership of certified wedding planners and venues. We at the Bridal Society know how important hiring an educated wedding planner or coordinator is. The Bridal Society is a wedding planner lifestyle membership and certification program focused on raising the standards in the industry and ensuring that all couples have an opportunity to have the wedding day of their dreams. I am so excited today. I am going to be talking with Michelle Crawford of Bakers Cottage Cakes. She is amazing, and I am so excited to welcome her. Welcome, Michelle.
Hey, Candace.
I'm so excited to hear the ins and outs of baking and cakes and all the things because, you know, I just open up a box and hope it works out for the best. So anyway, welcome. Tell me a little bit about your company.
Oh gosh, we are just 7 years old and started out of my kitchen as a Bakers Cottage business. And it was a very close family or a very close friend of the family who is like family. She was getting married and I was a pastry chef for a catering company, and she asked if I would do her wedding cake and the desserts. And I said, sure, absolutely. I would be honored to. And she then told me that, you need to have a name for your company because we're going to get published. I had no idea what that meant. So came up with a name and, figured out what I needed to do. I thought, this might be kind of fun. I can do some side business doing this. I was a single mom at the time. And so I got licensed, and with that, looked at the Bakers Cottage laws and stuff and figured out like, how can I do this? And so I just came up with the name Bakers Cottage Cakes. And little did I know that the wedding was actually going to be photographed by Elizabeth Messina, who is a very famous photographer. And her clients are like Tori Spelling and Christina Applegate. And here I am like, hey, can I get some extra copies of the cake when you're done? And she was really super sweet, very down to earth. But it was fun. That was kind of the gateway to all of this, and started to do the cakes for the catering company I was working for. And then just finally I got to the point where I'm like, if I'm working this hard for other people, why not work this hard for myself?
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. So that's how it started.
Yeah. Yay. That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what is one thing you wish you had known when you started your career?
It's been everything I've been doing and going through has been a learning experience all along. And it just, I don't know. I mean, God, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest. There's just a lot going into business for yourself. And this, Candace, is just like, it leaves very little personal time, for your family and for your friends, and you have no social life.
Right.
And your family winds up chipping in more than they want to. And it's just, it has to be a commitment, from everybody in your life because it becomes their lives too. And you struggle with the balance. And I think if there was anything I wish I had done from the beginning is trying to learn balance a little earlier on. And you still struggle with it because you grow, and the more you grow, the more you struggle again with it. So it's an ongoing battle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely, I didn't think about, when you have your own business, your family is a part of it, whether they want to be or not, because it becomes your life, and they're such a big part of your life. And now you have this business, and now that's part of your life too. And it's like, We're all in this together, baby.
Whether you want to or not. My children have been washing dishes very, very early on. My oldest just graduated UCF, and she's in that area where she's trying to start her own career. And I'm like, well, until you get a job, why don't you come and work for me? And she's like, no, I'm done doing that. I've been working for you since I was 15. I'm done. So, you have to be respectful of that too. So,
right. So let's move on to something about your work. What is the best compliment that you've received regarding your work? I'm sure you get them all the time.
We have great clients. We really do. I think the greatest compliments come from other people in the industry, especially if they are chefs themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, because as chefs, we can be really critical of food, and, other chefs and when they try stuff and they really like it. I think probably the biggest compliment, I had a pastry chef from France, and he owned a pastry shop in Winter Park, and he had our pumpkin creme brulee at an event, and he just came up like 7 times and had 7 different, the same flavor, but he kept eating it 7 different times, and he came up to me and said, this is the best creme brulee I've ever had. And the fact that he was A, French, and B, owned a pastry shop was a huge, huge compliment.
That's awesome, because you don't just have cakes at your shop, right?
Yeah, we do desserts. We have a full dessert line. We're going to be putting it up on our website because a lot of people ask. I've been hesitant to do it in the past just because as pastry chefs, we have just always gone along with the line of, if you want it, we'll create it. But I think people are super visual, so it helps for them to see it. So we're getting ready to update the website with that. But we also do have like a full cookie line that we offer. And then we also do bridal brunches. They're very light brunches. They're not a full catering kind of thing at all. It's just, tea sandwiches and light bites kind of thing.
Oh, this is really good information to know.
It's really fun because you think about it, from the perspective that you're getting ready all day long, and, you can do it for your bridal shower, but also in the sense that if you're getting ready, a lot of times the bridal party don't eat all day long because you're getting your hair done, you're getting your makeup done. You might be drinking, sipping a couple, cocktails or mimosas, and then the wedding day comes and you think that you're going to enjoy everything that you've picked out. And sometimes you eat a little bit here and there, but maybe because of nerves or because you're just so busy, you don't fully eat. That it's nice for them to have a little something light to eat, in their stomachs prior to going into this. So this way, if they are drinking at their wedding, it doesn't go straight to their heads.
Right. Please. No, we can't have any of that. Okay. So what is one common myth about your profession that you want to just debunk? Like, what do people assume about cakes?
I think a lot of people assume that there's a big assumption sometimes that, every one of us are baking from home. It is how a lot of us do start.
Yeah.
And I think that there's definitely a place for that. I know for me, it helped me out immensely with being a single mom and balancing family and life and that kind of thing. But I think that, what would be a big myth? That everybody bakes from scratch. That doesn't happen. I found that out a few times. I think that, not everybody bakes from scratch. Not everybody's working from their home. People are saying, oh, wedding cakes are so expensive. And I'm like, what people really honestly don't understand is that even if it's just a general 3-tier cake, we're working on that for a good 3 days. Like, it doesn't get baked the day of your wedding, and it doesn't get baked the day before your wedding either, because the wedding cake needs a full 24 hours to set. Because, when you think about a loaf of bread, if you've ever baked fresh bread and then you go to cut it, It just
Ever.
collapses it. You haven't ever?
No.
If you've ever gone anywhere, I don't know, to a restaurant that serves those hot loaves of bread, if you go to cut it, it's not going to slice. It's going to dent in because the crumb is what we call it, which is the interior of the cake or the interior of the bread. It's so warm that it's not stabilized yet. So it needs a full 24 hours to sit. So you have a day where you're baking and then you let it sit. But while it's sitting, you are making we're making all of our fillings, and we're, doing our Swiss meringue buttercreams and all of that fun stuff. And then so that gets done, you have to torte the cake, you have to dam the cake, you have to fill the cake, you have to crumb coat the cake, you got a final coat. And then if it's getting decorated, you have to do that. And then if there's any other decorating like sugar flowers, I mean, yes, they add a lot to the cost of a cake, because depending on the detail of the sugar flowers, they could take me like 2 weeks. So, I mean, you break down the cost of everything that goes into the cake, the doweling, the cake boards, the delivery, the labor, the ingredients. By the time you are done, what we are actually making on your cake is so insignificant that I'd like to see a lot of people work for what I actually make an hour and not complain.
Wow. I did not. I mean, in just that one question, I've learned so many things in the world.
Yeah, it is expensive, but there's a lot that goes into it.
That is crazy. I'm gonna have to, I need like a session. Like, let's work with, how you take your kids to work day. I need to go to Bakers Cottage Cake Day so that I can put some gloves on and learn what you do, because I had no idea.
Hey, we've got a really busy season coming on. If you put that offer on the table, I'm gonna take you up on it.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Speaking of, how many weddings do you do per year?
It is significantly more right now than normal. And I don't know if we moved into our shop in October of 2019, right before the pandemic, and business was taking off. It was doing wonderful. And we were, finally seeing that point where it was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what we've worked so hard for. And then the pandemic hit and then everything just flatlined. So since then, prior to that, I mean, it was probably maybe 200 weddings a year, and it's more than doubled that now.
What?
Mm-hmm. Well, you think about it, with us, we take on more than one wedding per day, whereas a lot of people in the industry, they might take one wedding, per day, or if they've got a team, they might do 1 or 2 or 3. This November, I have one day. Yesterday, in fact, we had 5 weddings just yesterday.
I saw that. I was like,
okay. Yeah, we've got a couple. We've got one weekend in November, and we have 15 weddings in that weekend. The week before that, we have 10. The week after that, we have 13. Yeah. So, hey, remember that whole, you want to come to the shop and get busy? I told you, be careful.
Yes, listen, as long as I don't have to do any type of artistic creativity, something on the cake, I'm down.
That's good. I'll find a job for you.
I will come help. I can't decorate, but I will come help you. Okay.
Okay.
So, of those many, many hundreds of weddings that you have per year, how many do you think come with a certified wedding planner?
Maybe half.
Oh, that's great.
Half. Yeah, that's maybe great. Half, maybe less. It depends. It really depends. Sometimes people will have like the family member that's in the business, and that rarely works out. And I have asked couples when it's weird too, because since the pandemic, we've actually had the opportunity where we're getting the chance to kind of pay back, the favor of so many people referring us in the past.
Yeah.
Because it used to be that us and flowers were like the last two people that couples booked. And it's been a really weird turn of events over the last several months. And we have actually had couples come to us where they weren't sure where they were getting married, but they saw us at a show or so-and-so referred us. And so they came in. And so it's nice because we've referred, well, what's your idea of, what does your wedding look like? And hey, check out these venues, or, sitting down with their personality. And if they don't have a planner, call these people. I think they'd be a fantastic fit for you. And, we refer a lot of florists, just because, again, they are usually right in line with cake. It's usually flowers and cake, or cake and flowers. So we refer florists quite a bit, and it's based on, what their theme, what their style is, what their personalities are. But I have to tell you, the weddings that don't have planners, they're not my favorite to work. They're not.
Speaking of, why do you prefer working with certified wedding planners?
Timelines are everything, and a tight timeline. Like, listen, things are going to happen. Somebody's going to be late. Something's not going to go smoothly. And it's having somebody there that is a professional, that is organized, who can keep a calm, cool, business-like kind of persona where, okay, I got this, I'll handle it, not just on the wedding side of it, like the wedding planning side of it, but sometimes we as vendors need the planner too. And it's really important to be a team. And you can tell the difference between a planner who is a team leader versus somebody who is this is my show and it's all about me kind of thing too. So there's a lot of factors that fall into there, but having a planner who is professional, who is got a tight timeline, who works with trusted vendors that they know will have their back and they will have their back, so that if something happens, it's like, what do you need help with? What can I help you with?
Right.
Because ultimately the end result is making sure that our couple is happy, because that's all of our goal. It's not about, us making money or us having weddings. It's about, is our couple happy? Is there anything I can do to make whatever we're doing or whatever somebody else is doing better, or somebody struggling with? How can I help?
Yeah.
So that's a good planner is key for all of those reasons.
Well, can you describe a situation where a certified wedding planner saved the day?
Do I want to tell you this story? There was a time we were delivering a cake, and it was really dark, and there was a lot of road construction, and there were no street lights whatsoever. And it was sharp turns left, sharp turns right. We were going incredibly slow, but it was, one lane going one way, one lane going the opposite way. And there was just, everybody was there were bumps because they were like, they were making a bridge, and it was almost like speed bumps kind of thing. And because the visibility was so poor, that when everybody was kind of like turning, like, veering right, and then all of a sudden you hit like the speed bump thing, it made everybody nervous, and everybody started to slam on their brakes. Well, when everybody slams on the brakes and it's one lane, there's nothing for you to do, either hit the person in front of you or also slam on your brakes. And even if you're doing 25 miles per hour, everything is going to go flying forward. So that happened. And we got to the event, which was a backyard wedding, and there was damage to the cake. It was minimal, but it was really upsetting. I mean, just, it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I called ahead to the planner, who thankfully was like, no worries, we got this. It's got, it's going up against the wall, is it
Yes,
like,
come
how
through,
bad
Claire.
was it? And it was like, it wasn't bad, but I think it was just the whole idea that it happened in general was
Right.
terrifying.
Yes.
And she was calming to me. She was a cheerleader to us. And, we went in there, we took care of it, and nobody knew. Nobody knew.
Wow.
I feel like it's a TikTok thing, but yeah, nobody knew. So nobody knew.
Oh my gosh, that's what we come in and do. Save the day. One team, one dream.
Yeah,
One team,
exactly.
one dream.
Yes,
Everybody
absolutely.
wins on wedding day. Everybody needs to win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's devastating. It just, anything that goes wrong, especially if it's on your end of it, you're just like, oh, what do you do? How do you fix it?
Right.
And I'd love to say that it never, ever happens. In the 7 years that we've been in business, it's happened maybe 4 times where we've had damage to a cake. And fortunately, we've been able to fix it. But
that's awesome. So I guess you can say you wish all of your couples hired certified wedding planners, huh?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Here's the other thing too, is we get this quite a bit. So you were asking about myths earlier. Everybody, we hear this, not everybody eats cake. Now that is true. Not everybody does eat cake, but I think the majority of people do like to have a little bit something sweet after their meal. And this is what is key and plays in favor of cake vendors. A lot of times people, depending on their planner or depending on like their catering and everything, when they do their cake cutting ceremony and then they start to eat, as soon as all of the food gets served out there, whether it's buffet or whether it's plated, as soon as that's done, that's when catering starts to slice and plate the cakes. Even if it's going on a buffet table, it still has to be sliced and put on there. Right. Now, if the DJ is in charge of, if everybody in charge of the timeline, his job is to get everybody up there and dancing and party mode. That's his job, because if the music isn't working, then he's not doing what he's supposed to, or they aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's some fantastic female DJs also. So, but with a planner, it's like, okay, we've got this, and, their timelines are smoother. They're making sure the cake is done with, properly so that it gets done. And then the catering team has time to slice and plate the cakes, and it's not overlapping with the party mode starting, because once that music starts going, people are on the floor, then they're in drink mode, they're in dance mode. And then, yes, the cake's going to sit on the table. So, I mean, for us, that's why we love a good planner.
Yes, gotta keep it going. And everybody,
we love our cake to get eaten, that's why we make it.
That's exactly right. Listen, Michelle, this has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad that you were here. And if you are listening today and you're interested in earning your certification in wedding planning, the Bridal Society is the very best decision you could ever make. The members of this organization feel more like family than colleagues. The Bridal Society provides a free lifetime membership once you complete your certification, which includes countless benefits. Visit www.thebridalsociety.com for more information. If you would like to receive an exclusive discount code, just message me. Again, my name is Candace Battle. I am the owner and Master Certified Wedding Planner of the event company. Join me next time for another rendition of Tea with T.E.C. Tea with T.E.C. Tea with T.E.C.